Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. Until next time, you already know what I'm going to tell you to do. Have an amazing rest of your day. And of course, keep that energy high.
Welcome back to another episode of Back2Besa. I'm your host, Besa Gordon. By now, you know we love food around here. So if you haven't grabbed your snacks, this is the time to do it. This week on Back2Besa, we tap in with Seattle recording artist Travis Thompson, who talks about wanting to perform at a Sonics halftime show. Speaking of the Sonics, we head over to Simply Seattle to link up with my buddy Matthew to get dripped out in Sonic gear for the Rain City Showcase. I hopped on a plane to go to the happiest place on earth, Disneyland, where I linked up with my buddy Strawberry for my first ever Disney broadcast, and it was even my first time at Disneyland. We take a road trip to Spokane for the Terrain Art Festival. Plus, while there, I head over to East Central Spokane to check out the new mural at the Maxi Center that uplifts iconic Black Spokane community members past and present. We talk about Taki Award winning the Best Startup Early Stages category at the Impact Pitch Competition, and we get advice from Ashley McGirt-Adair, founder and president of the Therapy Fund Foundation, about how to find the perfect therapist. But first, it's Hot Topics. I don't know about you, but growing up in the 90s, I loved me some Monica. So I was honestly shocked when I seen a recent interview that she did with The Shop Uninterrupted, where she said she feels like the most forgotten and that she's the underdog. Child, check this out.
I'm actually a person that for all the records I've broken, I really have never won any awards. I'm really the most forgotten if you think about it. I'm pretty much the underdog, but I sit very comfortably in it because I can still go where I want, do what I want, live how I want. But when I say that I am often forgotten, I was hosting the Soul Train Awards, was nominated for 5, 3 of my songs in one category, and still lost. But I went out to eat and kicked my regular after. I was not bothered because that's not what I do it for.
That's dope.
That is really my point when I say that oftentimes I'm forgotten in those spaces.
Now, recently, we talked about Keefe D being charged with first-degree murder in the 1996 murder of Tupac Shakur. Well, just as I thought, more is coming out about what went down that night and why. In a recent interview that hit the internet, Keefe D said Diddy, yes, Diddy, hired him for $1 million to commit the crime. Check out this clip.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah, Anaheim.
After a concert in Anaheim, Keefe D claims that he attended a party with Puffy in a hotel suite.
So this is after Jake got killed. So he was on point. He was worried about something happening.
Yeah.
She got miles off about a bunch of different stuff, so he was scared.
He was scared to death, yeah.
Okay. A few months later, at Greenblatt's Deli, Keefe D claimed that Puffy Combs furthered the solicitation. What happened that made it something other than just him frustrated and boasting? Man, I'll give you guys anything. I mean, what made it a specific, like, hey, I'm serious, I want you guys to kill these guys? I mean,
when he told me the greenback.
How's it go? How's the conversation go? I mean, okay, listen, I'll do it, but I need $500,000, or, you know, I've got somebody who will do it, but I need $300,000. I mean, we need really specific details regarding that.
Yeah, we wanted $1 million.
You said you walked downstairs. Did he say, come meet me downstairs?
Yeah, he said, come on downstairs and talk to me.
Oh.
He tells you, seriously, man, I need to get rid of these guys. I mean, he's looking at you in the eyes and he's like scared.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, the specific reason he asked you to come downstairs and talk to him was about that thing, not about liquor or anything. It was about that. Okay.
You tell him we'll do it for $1 million, and he's like, okay, I'll do it for $1 million.
Yeah.
He agrees. You shake on it or something like that.
Yeah.
What happened?
Gentlemen, we wiped their ass out quick.
Who brought up the amount of $1 million?
He did.
Let me tell tell you something. I told y'all this was about to get messy. Now, in lighter news, ever since Kanye West jumped on stage and said Beyonce deserved to win the 2009 VMA Award for Video of the Year during Taylor Swift's acceptance speech, dude, since then, the Swifties and the Beehive have been going back and forth, continuing to stir the pot and try to create a feud between the two. Well, both Beyonce and Taylor Swift are dropping movies about their recent tours, and Taylor's movie actually dropped on Friday. So earlier this week, she had a pre-screening for the movie Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour, and guess what? Beyonce pulled up to support, and if you ask me, it was their way of saying we've really never had beef. That's it for this week's Hot Topics. If there is something you want me to cover in next week's Hot Topics, dude, shoot me an email at back2besa@whereweconverge.com. Now, you guys know that here at Back2Besa, we stay taking it back to business, especially small businesses in our community. One organization that is dedicated to supporting small businesses in our region is Business Impact Northwest, a nonprofit community development financial institution committed to serving underbanked entrepreneurs. They provide coaching, classes, and access to capital to community small businesses with an emphasis on working on traditionally underserved populations. Low, moderate income earners, women, BIPOC, veterans, immigrants, or members of the LGBTQ+ community, and they have been doing it for over 25 years. Last week, Business Impact Northwest hosted their annual Impact Pitch competition, where new and startup business owners could pitch their business for an opportunity to win some of the $36,000 in grant money that was on the line. Back2Besa producer Winfield Ezel Jr. was there for the story.
So what we are doing right now is our eighth annual Impact Pitch competition. This is where businesses pitch their business either in an idea phase or an early stage or an established business. You get to learn the full ins and outs of your business, and you pitch to win some money. 3 people get the chance to win a prize. This year is $6,000. We also do an audience vote for all the marketing videos. People are basically learning what's in the engine of the car. That is their business.
The organization's been around for about 26 years. We help small businesses. That's our whole focus in the world, is to make sure that small businesses have access to great information and access to capital. And then we get to showcase that work through the Impact Pitch and other events that we do throughout the community. We're really focused on helping businesses at the margin. So that's why you see diverse businesses and diverse sectors of businesses represented, to make sure that they have access to it as well, so that they're not excluded from the financial systems and from getting great business planning and advice on how to run their business.
It's all a blessing, to be honest. I mean, I say all the time, it wasn't intended to be here, but I'm here now. It was something that came out of love, of me and my wife just playing around with something, and it became the real deal, and we've gone full steam ahead at making this thing a national brand.
The reason why it's important is because if people don't know you, they can't support you. Competitions like this enhances the knowledgeability of who you are. You have to be reachable in order for people to reach you. But it also gives the opportunity for a small African-American company to compete on a larger scale.
We had 84 people that applied originally, and in our first phase, we break it down to 50. In our second stage, we break it down to 25. And then in the third stage, we break it down to 10. And it is hard. Like, there's a lot of really amazing businesses, and the businesses can apply from Oregon, Alaska, Washington, and Idaho.
An accident turned hobby, turned business. The Resole 206 is the culmination of over 20 years experience in the sneaker customizing and care industry.
Advise landowners to not sell their land to developers.
This is why we began creating simple solutions to single-use waste.
The award this evening is for the Startup Idea Stage Business Award. And Jason, can you reveal the winner?
So what had happened was we ended up winning the best startup / early stages category of the 3 categories. We came home with the W, and I am so pumped. I'm so proud of myself for getting to this point and being able to step into my power and let people know just how important what we do is with cleaning, restoring, and caring for footwear. So to be able to share that business with this community and with, you know, my family and friends and everybody supporting virtually and here in person, and hearing those cheers and getting all those text messages that they're so proud of me. I was literally overcome with emotion. And so to get to this point, I'm incredibly proud of myself. I'm incredibly excited for what the Resole is about to do. And yeah, we're about to take over Seattle when it comes to sneaker care. So get ready.
For Business Impact Northwest as a whole, our whole mission is based around making sure that we can reach underserved communities. And as we know, those are women, folks of color, immigrants, military folks, LGBTQIA folks, people who have different abilities, so disabled community. Like, these people aren't necessarily getting access to a lot of things. And so our whole point across the board is how can we make sure that we're getting everyone, that we're making sure everyone has a place at the table.
Congratulations to all the winners, including my girl T-Dub and her business Resole, which we featured right here on Back2Besa just last week. Thank you to Business Impact Northwest for your continued support of small businesses from across our region. To learn more, visit businessimpactnw.org. We're off to our first commercial break, but when we come back, we jump in the car to take a road trip to Spokane for the Terrain Arts Festival.
My mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up, break you in then break you out. In the end we gon' make a child, then we gon' hit the show. Part 2 we don't need no pause. You misty, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel, face the fact that copy my steel, face the fact that.
Hello, it's Marcus Trufant here, and for the month of October, Burgermaster and the Trufant Family Foundation are coming together. The Trufant Jalapeno Burger is great. It's going down, and a portion of each burger sold is going right back to the community. Go Hawks! Let's make it happen.
Hadestown is the Tony and Grammy Award-winning Best Musical. It's an epic celebration of music, togetherness, and hope. A Broadway musical like no other. This is as good as it gets. Hadestown.
Playing the Paramount Theater October 31st to November 5th. Tickets at stgpresents.org.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, and the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
When I think about what I would say to a young entrepreneur right now is that there are so many opportunities for growth and learning here in Seattle, Washington, and take full advantage of it. There is all kind of training programs, all kind of grant micro lending programs, so many opportunities. Please take advantage of all that so that you can get the learning that you need so you have a firm foundation so your business can grow.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Welcome back to Besa. As we can see, at least here in Seattle, fall is upon us and the rainy days are on the way. But last weekend, it was all sun, and I took that opportunity to literally hit the road for one last time before the snow starts falling on Snoqualmie Pass. I took the I-90 to Spokane for the Terrain Arts Festival, and along the way, took in the sights of our evergreen state. So last week, your girl decided to do something that, well, I haven't done in a while. I'm talking about a real deal road trip. Just getting in the car and vibing. That is exactly what I did with my girl Nicole and headed over to the other side of the evergreen state into the city of Spokane, which, by the way, is 280 miles from downtown Seattle. So basically a 4.5-hour drive. Along the way, I was reminded what a beautiful state we live in. The tall mountains and mighty rivers. At one point, I had to stop and soak in all the vantage points. Onward across the vast expanses of eastern Washington and finally into Spokane, the second biggest city in Washington state and a place that I have enjoyed coming to over the years. After all those hours on the road, your girl was more than ready to check in at her super comfy Davenport Grand Hotel for a quick nap, record some radio shows, and then it was to the Terrain Art Festival. Now, more about the Terrain Arts Festival later on in the show, but just know it was super dope and very well might be one of the biggest one-day art pop-ups in this whole part of the country. Trust and believe when I tell you that my girl Ginger Ewing and her team at Terrain put on for their city. The next morning, I headed over to East Central Spokane, the legacy Black neighborhood that was at one point the epicenter of Black life and culture in Spokane. But just like so many other Black communities across America over the decades, now finds itself below means and struggling for the basics of housing and food security. However, despite the blows, hope remains and shines bright in East Central, as evident in the This Is East Central community-wide storytelling mural that adorns the side of the Carl Maxey Center. Unveiled last month, a love letter to the neighborhood is how Gender describes it. Terrain partnered with nearly 20 other organizations to bring the beautiful artwork to life. The mural honors beloved Spokane community members, both the present day and past. I was humbled to see the image of Sandy Williams, who was a media giant and publisher of The Black Lens, who left us far too soon last year. But I was also inspired and overjoyed to see so many people I personally know in Spokane on the mural who are working every day to uplift the community. This mural really does give people their flowers. Before hitting the road back to Seattle, I stopped downtown at Riverfront Park. This is one of my favorite places in the city because, well, a river runs through it and there is always a lot going on here. Heading back home westbound to Seattle, this was a quick but fulfilling road trip to Spokane. And seeing Washington from ground level, you begin to realize how much our state has to offer, do, and see. And best believe, I'm here for all of it. Now, let me tell you, that 4.5-hour drive there and back might seem like a long trip, but there is so much to see on the ride across our state that it really goes by fast, especially when you're with good people. Big shout out to my girl Nicole for holding me down on the ride. Also, want to give a lot of love and respect to the people of East Central Spokane and your community. I literally see you. Now, I mentioned the Terrain Art Festival a few moments ago, and let me tell you, it was well worth the drive over. Terrain is one of the biggest one-day art pop-ups in this part of America, with nearly 400 artists and over 10,000 people through the door in just one night. And the art is just amazing. Here is how it all went down.
So Terrain, aside from kind of really opening doors to a lot of emerging artists and very intergenerationally, just like culminating all the different artists and creators in Spokane, I think it's really the community that makes Terrain really special. Here, I mean, in this like abandoned building, for 2 days, we turn it into this magical place.
This is a place where your imagination runs wild. all of this artwork, all of these people, you walk around this space and you wonder, where are these people all day long? There is so much energy and creativity and connection that happens here at Terrain. We kind of wish it happened every day.
It's become this space where people of different colors, different ethnicities have really come together and shared what their journey is like. And I think Terrain is important. I think it's so cool that the community comes out and supports an event like this and really just shows us that art is important and art does keep things really strong and going.
Sometimes our culture and our tradition can kind of get pigeonholed into these thematic exhibits, whereas now it gets a wider audience, especially our work is going to be seen by a lot of people who probably normally wouldn't see our work.
Yep.
So.
I stand on hot earth, but I can still grow. It's been a hard search, digging through my dark soul. It's still food for thought, even when it's served cold. Cause even living with one arm, I'm still whole.
There's an energy here. We just saw a performance talk about healing, and I really do think that when you come and you experience this event, there's some healing that happens in your soul. You feel connected to your community. You feel connected to your own personal humanity. You feel connected to the person next to you. It could be a stranger. And so yes, we talk about dance, we talk about multimedia, we talk about the thousands of people who come through the doors, but really I want to convey the sense of human connection that happens at this event.
This is our town, this is our rules, these are our people. And so to me, Terrain's special because when you show up, you're gonna see your friend's art hanging on the wall, you're gonna see it next to world-class art, and you're gonna feel the gravity that like Spokane is an arts town, Spokane has culture.
Just for this show alone, there are hundreds of us that are out here creating, and I think it gives you a big, vast look on, hey, there is a ton of art, there's a ton of culture, there's things that are booming here in Spokane, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it.
Dude, big shout out to my good sis Ginger Ewing and everyone at Terrain for once again producing an incredible night of super dope art and culture. Don't sleep on the art scene in Spokane. It's real, it's vibrant, and it's growing, and it's definitely not going anywhere. You can learn more about Terrain and all the work they do by visiting terrainspokane.com. We're off to another commercial break, but when we come back, we head over to Simply Seattle to get dripped in Sonics gear. We talk about what went down when the Rain City Showcase brought the NBA to Seattle earlier this week. Plus, we tap in with Travis Thompson. Welcome back to Besa. With NBA fever hitting Seattle earlier this week with the Rain City Showcase, I can tell you right now that the next few stories are all about basketball here in the Emerald City. First up, not too long ago, I caught up with Seattle recording artist Travis Thompson here at the Hits 106.1 iHeartMedia studios. And one of the many things we talked about was his dream of doing a halftime show at a Sonics game when they come back.
No, I feel you. I'm right there with you. And a Sonics halftime show. So like a first pitch in a Mariners game, the 12-man flag, and we don't have the Sonics, but a Sonics halftime show would be like the trifecta of growing up here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what I heard.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Me too, and I'm gonna keep it low. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we can say what everybody knows, which is that there are NBA lockers in Climate.
Okay, I didn't know we could say that.
They talked about it on the news.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
oh, then we're
somebody
straight.
has talked about it, and they've tweeted about it.
I went to like a rich basketball, like hockey party, like a bunch of investors and stuff, and they were like, if the Kraken do well, we're getting the Sonics. And I was like, oh, for real? It's like that? And they were like, the Kraken are doing well. And I'm like, okay, what? It's like that? Okay. So, hey, shout out to halftime show on the way. On the way.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I met the Moose. I now need to meet the Sasquatch. You know what I'm saying?
Not the
Yeah, the Sonic Sasquatch. You don't even remember that one. Exactly.
I remember everyone that used to walk around like the Sasquatch.
Oh, for sure. And do you remember the dudes who used to slang energy drinks outside of Key Arena for the Sonics games too? Do you remember that? Like the rock stars and monsters, and they used to just like, they were very aggressively selling energy drinks outside. Anyways, that's legendary. We'll get there.
I am so with you on that one, Travis, and you better speak it into existence, fam. I am no expert, but from what I'm hearing, the Sonics might just be back sooner than we think. Speaking of the Sonics and the NBA, before heading to the Rain City Showcase at Climate Pledge Arena, I had to pull up to Simply Seattle's headquarters and link up with my buddy Matthew to get dripped out in Sonics gear before the game and learn more about how Simply Seattle has been holding down the authentic team apparel game in the Emerald City for a while. Check out what happened. Your girl got the VIP treatment and was invited to Simply Seattle's headquarters for a personal Sonics drip session before heading to the Rain City Showcase at the Pledge. For those that don't know, Simply Seattle is basically an Emerald City institution when it comes to Seattle gear. I'm talking about all the sports teams. They even laced me with my Kraken gear last year. Now, what they are most known and loved for, though, is all the Sonics gear they have. It's literally like Sonic Central over there. And considering the Sonics have been gone since 2008, Simply Seattle is loved by locals for keeping the Sonics name fresh and always looking good around the Emerald City until they return. Which I'm actually hearing will be very soon, by the way. Anywho, one look around the place and yeah, you can tell they love them some Sonics.
Well, I mean, Seattle's a stylish city, so we like to try and showcase that in our apparel. We have like lots of stylish apparel that people can piece together different statement pieces to really bring a whole fit together. Whether it's a jacket, whether it's a new hat, whether it's a hoodie, the t-shirts. We've got different textures, different colors, different tones, which will help you bring your whole fit on point. And if you can elevate it and support a sports team at the same time and support the city, why not, right?
Why not? As you can see, you don't have to be a sports fan to shop at Simply Seattle. You just have to want to look fly. They literally have color waves to match any fit and take your outfit to the next level. Huge thank you to Matthew and the team at Simply Seattle for giving me the VIP treatment and always making sure my outfits are something everyone will talk about when I walk in the room. As Matthew said, you'll definitely see me coming, and I can't wait to stop by Simply Seattle again for more sports gear. Big shout out to Matthew and the entire team at Simply Seattle for always getting my sports swag right. If you're on the hunt for local sports gear that doesn't look like anyone else's, or you just want something fly to elevate your outfit, be sure to stop by Simply Seattle or visit them online at simplyseattle.com. Now it's time for Backstage Pass, powered by Quantum Fiber. And you probably guessed it, this week we had to Climate Pledge Arena for the Rain City Showcase. And although the LA Clippers and the Utah Jazz were on the hardwood, it was definitely Sonics fans all throughout the arena with one thing on their mind: bring back our Sonics. Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. Dude, we are at Climate Pledge Arena for the Rain City Showcase. We got Utah Jazz in the building. The Clippers are in the building. building. But more importantly, I already know that we have some Sonic fans in the building, and I would not be Besa Gordon if I didn't take some time to find them. We're at the Rain City Showcase, but we both got our Sonic gear on,
Yeah,
okay?
you already know.
We got what's important on. How do you feel about the Sonics right now? And do you think that we're ever going to get them back?
Well, I really hope they really come back. I think I'm gonna burst out in tears, honestly, because I was here with the Kingdom. I'm born and raised in Seattle. I love my city, and I really want them to bring the Sonics back.
I'm representing. I know that they'll be back in the next few years. I think that the NBA gets us these games so that we can see and show the support of Seattle fans. So I know the Sonics will be back in a few years.
In my lifetime, the Seattle Supersonics will be coming back to Seattle. I'll be here, front row somewhere in the building when it happens.
They'll be back next year, this coming up year, man. It's got to happen. 206, it's got to happen.
Dude, if you can't tell, we've had a packed house. We've had the LA Clippers. We've had the Jazz in the building. And if there's one thing that I've talked to everybody about today, it is bring back our Sonics. It is something that is truly missed here in Seattle. And also, let's just talk about it. Your girl code, whoa, welcome. Did you see it? It doesn't just say Besa, it says Back2Besa. That means that we were so welcome here. They had a whole card for us. So look, I don't know when basketball is coming back to Seattle, but it needs to be back here way sooner than later. Climate Pledge was lit, and for sure, Seattle definitely loves Sonics now more than ever. And believe me, people in my city will not be happy until they bring back our Sonics. By the way, on the court, the LA Clippers walked away with the dub, handing the Jazz a 103-98 loss. We're off to another commercial break, but when we come back, we're talking about how to find the perfect therapist with Ashley McGirt-Adair.
My mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the show. Part 2, we don't need no pause. You can't miss me, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel, face the fact that. Copy my steel, face the fact that.
Hadestown is the Tony and Grammy Award-winning Best Musical. It's an epic celebration of music, togetherness, and hope. A Broadway musical like no other. This is as good as it gets. Hadestown.
Playing the Paramount Theater October 31st to November 5th. Tickets at stgpresents.org.
I think my pieces of advice would be come in with humility, enjoy your passion, and be ready to work. Those are my 3 things. I think if you think your product is perfect and you may not need to adjust, your product's gonna die quickly because the world adjusts, people adjust. You need to always be thinking about your customer and what they want. So you may have an idea of what you like, but you gotta move that to what the customer likes also. And 2, just enjoy your job. I love what I do. It is hard. I love what I do. It's hard, and you're fighting Mother Nature, and you're fighting inflation and all these other things. But I think it's made me a better human being. And thirdly, be ready to work. Don't be lazy. Just do the research. Get a mentor. That also goes with being humble. Find somebody who's done it, and then work with them to help you be the best version of yourself.
Welcome back to Besa. This past Tuesday was World Mental Health Day, and in honor of that, I revisited my conversation I had earlier this year with therapist and founder of the Therapy Fund Foundation, Ashley McGirt-Adair. We spoke about a lot of topics, but one of my favorite moments was when I asked her about how to find the perfect therapist. If you're out there looking for someone to talk to, she has some great advice.
We always say things like, seek therapy. Black people need to seek therapy. But I feel like a lot of times they don't know where to start. And sometimes people don't know what to ask when they're trying to find that perfect therapist for them. Like, you can have a perfect therapist for you, but doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So do you have any tips for people in finding that or just asking those right questions?
Well, one, knowing that, like you said, there's the perfect therapist for you, there's the perfect therapist for me. So kind of think of it like dating. And when it comes to finding a therapist, you need to find someone who's a good fit for you, someone who you can trust, who you can build that good rapport with. So the very first conversation is really going to be critical. And that's going to be that consultation that you have with a therapist. And it's going to be asking them questions like, hey, do you specialize in anxiety? Have you ever worked with Black people before? If you identify as a Black person, have you ever worked with the LGBTQ community? Whatever population it is that you align yourself with, you want to ask those questions. Whatever it is you're experiencing, you want to ensure that the therapist actually has that training. So many people reach out to me for couples counseling. I am not a relationship therapist. I am the wrong person to come to, so I have to refer out. But asking those questions, because some clinicians may try, knowing that they're not a couples counselor, and sit there and try to actually help you through that. And you never actually ask them, like, is this something you've done? Have you ever helped couples before? And me, I'll tell you, no, I've never done couples counseling ever. Because I knew that wasn't an area that I didn't want to focus in. So, but asking those questions, looking into their background, verifying their license. You can go to the Department of Health and you can type in a name. You could type in my name, Ashley McGirt, if that's all the information that you have, and it'll show you. Again, just having a conversation with them. Most therapists offer at least a free 15-minute consultation, and you can find out a lot about a person. Are you laughing? Like, do you feel a good vibe? What's the energy? And just remember, don't give up, because it's like dating. You got to sometimes date multiple people until you find the one. You have to see multiple therapists until you get the thing that you need.
I think that's a huge point, because I feel like a lot of times, especially people of color, we'll go to therapy, we'll go like 1 or 2 times. We don't like that therapist.
We done.
We might, if someone convinces us, see a different therapist. But usually you'll see that one therapist and you're like, oh, this is what therapy is like. I don't like that. And it's like everyone has their own style. And so you do have to kind of think of it like dating. I never thought of it that way, but you have to keep going around until you find the one, and be okay with letting a therapist go and be like, your style isn't working for me.
Yes. And speak up, because 9 times out of 10, you're paying for it, whether you're paying out of pocket or you're using your insurance benefits that you're paying for through your employer or a spouse or whatever the case. We know how that works, but it's something you're invested in. So you need to speak up and say like, hey, I would like to focus on this during my session. You have the power to do that. I let my clients know, like, let me know if I'm talking too fast, if I'm focusing on an area that maybe you want to talk on something different this week. What are your goals? I'm a solution-focused therapist, so I'm always looking at what is the solution? How do we fix the problem? If you want to just vent, fine. We can create space for that too. But at the end of the day, I'm always looking at what's the end goal. How can I graduate you out of my session so that you don't have to come here every week, or get you down to maybe once a month or quarterly, something like that.
It's always good to speak with Ashley, because she always leaves us with valuable advice surrounding mental health. She and the Therapy Fund Foundation have worked hard to remove stigmas in our community surrounding mental health, as well as providing free access to those in our community most in need. You can find mental health resources for therapy and more by visiting therapyfundfoundation.org. We're off to another commercial break, but when we come back, I show you what happened when I went to Disneyland for the first time and broadcasted live on Hits 106.1 from the happiest place on earth. Back to Besa. Believe it or not, until this week, I've never been to Disneyland. So when I found out that Disney was going to fly me out to the happiest place on earth to broadcast live for Hits 106.1 at the Disney Holiday Preview event, I almost lost my mind. And on top of that, I got to link up with my buddy Strawberry, who not only does radio on V101.1 in Sacramento, but is also the in-arena host for our Seattle Kraken. Check out what happened. Something happened this week that was only a dream, or better yet, a fairy tale 8 years ago when I started in radio on the street team at iHeartRadio. Can you believe I was invited by Disneyland to fly to the happiest place on earth to broadcast live on Hits 106.1 from the Disney Holiday Preview? This is where Disney tells us all about all the things they have in store for the festive season. So I hopped on the flight to Disneyland, and when I arrived, I hooked up with my buddy Strawberry. You might know him as the Seattle Kraken in-arena host, but he's also on V101.1 in Sacramento. But the best part is that he has been to so many of these events before and was the perfect person to tell me what to expect.
Oh my God, Strawberry. I am officially at Disneyland.
We're here.
I've never been here before, like ever in life. So we gotta talk about this.
Okay.
What can I expect? Not only have I not been to Disneyland, I've never done my own live broadcast.
Okay.
What's going down?
So, the happiest place on earth. We are actually gonna be in a broadcast room. We're in a radio room. We're gonna be surrounded by at least 40 other radio shows from all across the country, right? Disneyland is going to feed us some of the best food and snacks we're going to have. They're going to bring by experts that we can interview them, ask about the park, ask about what's new for the holidays, and they'll be showing off the new fall menu, the new fall activities, the new fall events and shows. On top of that, you'll be able to explore the park. So you'll be able to go into Disneyland, ride the rides, also California Adventure. I mean, just go crazy. Once you wrap up your radio show, go have fun with everybody else.
Go live life.
Go live life.
So we're celebrating festival holidays here at the Disneyland Resort, running November 10th through January 7th. And right behind us, we have some returning favorites from Festival Holidays. Now, Festival Holidays is all about celebrating different cultures through music, entertainment, and of course, food,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We've got pieces from Christmas, Hanukkah, Navidad, Diwali, Kwanzaa, and Three Kings Day.
Disneyland is always top notch regardless, right? Holidays though, holiday season, and now with their Viva Navidad and their festival of holidays, they crank it up through the roof.
What do events like this mean for you as someone that's in radio?
I'm always like a kid anyway, a kid at heart. I grew up watching Disney, so it's great to be able to combine radio and Disney.
So what would you say to someone that's hungry, like young Besa, and they want to get in the game?
Yeah.
And where would you tell them to start?
Network, whether it's on social media, whether it's old school in person, handshakes and intros, network. Put your dream in your path.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, coming in live from Disneyland Resort where the holidays begin. Thank you to Strawberry and all of the amazing radio professionals that I met. But most importantly, thank you, Disney, for giving me an opportunity to tell all of the Hits 106.1 listeners about your plans for the holidays. This was definitely a first-class trip, and I can't wait to come back soon to celebrate the holidays at the happiest place on earth. Now that I've finally been to Disneyland, I can truly agree that it is the happiest place on earth. Thank you so much to Disney for having me at the holiday preview event to broadcast live for Hits 106.1. And even more, thank you for making one of my childhood dreams come true of finally going to Disneyland. And I can't wait to go back. All right, guys, we're off to another commercial break. But when we come back, it's time for events to know about.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up. Break you in, then break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the show. Part 2, we don't need no pause. You with Misty, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel. Face the fact that copy my steel. Face the fact that.
Hello, it's Marcus Trufant here, and for the month of October, Burger Master and the Trufant Family Foundation are coming together. The Trufant Jalapeno Burger is great. It's going down, and a portion of each burger sold is going right back to the community. Go Hawks! Let's make it happen.
Hadestown is the Tony and Grammy Award-winning Best Musical. It's an epic celebration of music, togetherness, and hope. A Broadway musical like no other. This is as good as it gets. Hadestown.
Playing the Paramount Theater October 31st to November 5th. Tickets at stgpresents.org.
Welcome back to Besa. It's time for events to know about, where I tell you about all the dope events happening around the city you definitely don't want to miss. First up, Sunday, October 15th, there is an in-person class for hand-rolling sushi at the Bistro at Spring Hill Suites in downtown Seattle. Wednesday, October 18th, is Vino and Vinyasa at the Collective. Thursday, October 19th, the 2023 Geek Wire Summit is happening at former Seattle Cinerama Theater. Friday, October 20th, comedian Reggie Conquest is at Laughs Comedy Club. Now, Friday, October 20th also is going to be the 2023 Black Women in STEM 2.0 Summit. This is happening at Seattle Pacific University. And Saturday, October 21st, Denim, Diamonds, and Pearls Scholarship Day Party is happening at NAM. Now, moving forward, October 26th, Big Lex Lingerie or Scream is happening at Supernova Seattle. Sunday, October 29th, the Halloween Drag Brunch is happening at 1101 4th Ave. Sunday, October 29th, the Cutting Up Masquerade 23 goes down at Langston Hughes. Wednesday, November 8th, the 2023 Mockingbird Luncheon is happening at the Westin Seattle. And Friday, November 10th, which is also my birthday, is Bay Fest starring Slimy B happening at Supernova. That's it for this week's events to know about. Now, if you know of an event I should shout out next week, send me an email with the event details to Back2Besa@whereweconverge.com. We're off to our last commercial break, but when we come back, it's time for Affirmation of the Week. Welcome back to Besa. Each week we end the show with an affirmation. This week's affirmation is, I am beautiful, inside and out. In a world where social media rules how a lot of us view ourselves and at times tap dances on our confidence, it's important to always remember that we all are beautiful. It's not your hair, it's not your outfits, it's not the 4-inch nails you wear, it's you. Your beauty will always shine from the inside out. Now that's it for this week's episode of Back to Besa. If you have anything you want me to know about, shoot me an email at back2besa@whereweconverge.com and catch me in Seattle on Hits 106.1 weekdays 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. and in Portland Saturdays 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Jammin' 107.5. Thank you for watching, and as usual, have an amazing rest of your day. And of course, keep that energy high.